legend alert for today's episode. We have one of the top lightweight and welterweights in history, only one of the three sugars in history, Jeremy's Olympic teammate, amateur teammate. We have the one, the only, Sugar Shane Mosely. We got a lot to talk about, man. Let's jump right into this. Oh, there he is.
Now, there you go.
What's up?
Looking just like his dad. Damn. What's the temperature like in Big Bend?
Cold as hell. Cold as hell. But I mean, it's warm during the day. You know.
Didn't hear you. I think he said it's.
How's it sounding now?
It's sounding good. It's sounding good. It's a
now.
little pixelated. It's pixelated, but you sound good.
I'm
How
gonna
you
go
doing,
where
man?
the towers are at, so man, I'm not doing too bad. You know, I just been up here in Big Bear watching some of the, because I had some fighters in here. That's fighter in here that's ready for a fight. I think he's gonna fight Danny Jacobs.
Oh, wow.
You see
Who is
me?
it? We see you, yeah. What's the fighter's name?
I think he's gonna Jaime Manguia.
Okay.
He fights under production promotion, or he's just using your gym?
He's fighting for Golden Boy Productions, but he's on the Golden Boy roster. But he wants to use my gym, Big Bear, so I had him use it.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah. So you know, he's doing good. He looks like he's you know, has the right mentality. He came up here to Big Bear and wants to train. I don't think he got. I think April's closing his gym down. April Sanchez. So he doesn't have any
great trainer.
You know, anywhere else to go.
Mm.
And my gym is pretty nice. You know, a lot of people train there. You know, Canelo Alvarez was there training when he was getting ready to fight Mayweather.
Mm.
Who else was Jamal Charlo was one of my sparring partners.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, so he was up here for many camps, but probably 2 or 3 camps.
Oh, wow.
And you know, I was you know, helping him out when he was coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And then who else? I mean, a lot of people that went. I mean, Lucas Matisas came through there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a nice gym. You know, like all the stuff that you see when you've seen HBO After Dark or you see HBO. That was the gym I was in.
Okay.
Training.
Okay.
So
you and Jeremy have known each other since the amateurs, right?
Man, we've been knowing each other, since we were 14, I think. 13, 14, even before that.
So,
yeah. But,
Jeremy,
you know, like Jeremy was saying, we used to do a little bit of sparring and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, Jeremy is fibbing a little bit when he said that he was putting it on me because I don't remember that. I remember it being 106, I was 106. And he was like, you was big. I was 106, you was like 119 or something.
1.6, 1.9. Yeah, man. Okay, that may be true.
No, that ain't maybe true. That is the truth.
So I know that Jeremy had 300 amateur fights. How many did you have, Shane?
I don't even, probably about that much, about 300 fights.
Wow. And
yeah, I when they came out with the books, because we had fights before the book came out.
Exactly.
So we had a lot of fights. I was fighting once a week.
Me too.
Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like different places, I would just go to, it would be either Pomona Ball Park or Pasadena or East LA or
for the Compton
Rivera.
The
Your thing went out again. What'd you say?
fight at the Compton YMCA like I did.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like
I fought everywhere you fought.
I used to have shows like twice a month.
Wow.
Twice a month, 4 times a month. But when I was little, like 4 times a month,
Yeah.
I fight every week
So how,
somewhere.
Shane, when you had your first amateur fight?
Uh, how old was I?
Yeah.
8 years old. 8.
Wow.
Long time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's those type of fighting that long. That's when you can, that's when brain damage start coming in.
Um, I read that you got into boxing because your father used to like do a lot of street fights or something like that. Is that true?
No, not street fights. He boxed a little bit at the probably like the YMCA or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he did a lot of boxing like that, and then he would go down to in Pomona, and he would spar with guys like Mike Weaver and all of them,
Oh,
helping them for their fights.
wow.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So he he was just kind of a guy that was at the gym and wanted to stay in shape, but he was physically in good shape. He was in gymnastics in high school and very very strong.
Mm.
Very strong. But I think that's where I got a little bit of like a lot of my strength, my inner strength, because I'm physically strong. And a lot of people they get they're like, whoa, like this little guy's that strong. Like how does he generate that much power?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a little bit of genetics. Because my son's the same way. He's really strong and really he has a great chin, and it's kind of like me.
Yeah, he is. He looks like you too, just like you.
Yeah, just like me. I couldn't deny him. No, I wouldn't know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I just saw him on the victory he just had. Um,
Yeah, the funny thing is that Gabe Rosado was one of my sparring partners too for Margarito.
oh,
Damn.
you know,
Damn.
Yeah, it was Librado, Andrade, Eddie Hernandez, Enrique Anellis, and he was the last one. I throw him in at the end.
so
So I get to make me work.
normally I go in chronological order, but since you brought up Margarito, did that when you found out the whole hand wrap thing, did that give you even more fuel to just put it on him, or were you going to do it that way?
No,
No.
no. From the beginning, it was so much stuff going on in my life, and I'm like, the arena, that arena at Staples Center, nobody has ever packed that arena like that. It did basketball games, concerts, anything like. I'm the number one like attendee of like packed the arena. Nobody has ever put as many people in the seats as I have at the Staples Center.
Wow.
Wow.
Or me and Margarito, I should say. Probably, Margarito. There was so many, uh, Mexicans there for him because they thought he was gonna win because he beat up Cotto and a few other guys.
I mean,
But
that's a
but the
fight.
rap.
I'm sorry. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, but the rap thing, that was the first one on my mind. I'm like, it was like, do you want to fight or do you want to like, you can. He's disqualified because he, was cheating. I said, no, cut the raps off. We gonna do this. I've been up in Big Bear. I've been training. I mean, hardest with big guys. Librado, Enrique. These guys are like 190, 185. Try to get him. The lightest person was Gabe Rosado, and he was 175.
Damn.
He was the last person I was sparring with. All of them, and it's all coming at me hard.
Uh-huh.
I was like, no. I'm gonna fight this fight. He gonna get knocked out. If you watch the fight, you notice he really didn't even hit me.
I saw. Yeah.
He really didn't even hit me at all. Like, nothing. So it's like, with the plasters or not, he was going to sleep.
I was just about to say he could have had cinder blocks taped to his hands. It wouldn't have mattered that night.
It wouldn't matter because he didn't even touch me.
Nope.
My face was clean.
Yup. And you were what, 38 at that point?
39.
Whew.
Yeah, I was old in the boxing world, but you know what? I mean, I still get in there sometimes with some of these guys. Not no more because I popped my other Achilles.
Oh.
I popped my left Achilles when I fought Pacquiao 4 months before I fought him. And then I popped my Achilles probably like 3 months ago. Same thing, playing basketball. I don't learn my lessons, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
so the basis of your career, I mean, I remember, was at 30,
Yeah.
35, 39, 40. Where was it at?
47.
The basis of my career, no. Well, really, the whole part of my upcoming career, like going to China, was at lightweight. So I had so many different, I fought a lot of times at lightweight, and I defended my title um 8 times, all by knockout. So all my defenses were
I mean,
knockouts.
speaking of lightweight, I mean, those fights weren't even competitive when you were at lightweight. I mean,
Just
Yeah, I was a
we gotta
I,
the weight numbers because some of our audience doesn't know.
135 is lightweight.
right.
35.
So yeah, so like I mean, it was almost unfair with you at lightweight. You just couldn't keep making that weight, or why'd you move up?
Oh no, I couldn't keep making that weight at all. If you look at it, I left the amateur career at 139 and 140
That's what
in 1992, and then from all the way to 97, no, even longer than that, all the way to 99, I think 98, 99. From 92 to 99, I had to hold lightweight 135.
damn.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was starving myself to make that, and not only that, like sometimes I wouldn't eat for like 2 days and barely make the weight. Don't eat. I don't eat, and just shadow box in the shower or something, and the heat, whatever heat I wouldn't lose. Like if I went to sleep, usually I lose like 2 pounds or like 2 pounds. So I go to sleep at 37. So I was waking up like at 36 and a half,
Wow.
and I had to go work out before the dang scale.
So what was your most comfortable weight at? Would you say?
147. 147 was easily my most comfortable weight, and I think the weight that I probably at that time at my age I should have been at 147.
47. Don't you think they were kind of tall at 47?
They were kind of tall. That was a different, but the only one they were like my height. So at lightweight, I was a tall guy. I was like the Vernon Forrest. At 47, I was average. My average height. Everybody was kind of around that weight, around that height.
Five
So it wasn't.
nine, something like that.
Say it again.
5'7" to 5'9" area like that.
Yeah, 5'7", 5'9". That was 147, and even 5'7", 5'10". But I was fighting guys more my height at 47, and I felt comfortable. I felt faster. I felt stronger because I had to lose so much weight. I remember Janiro Hernandez telling me at one time that he can tell when I'm cutting weight and when I'm getting down because I was a little bit slower and it wasn't as strong. But at 47, he was like, "Man, when you're big, he's like, I can't even touch you."
Wow.
I mean, for those people watching who don't know, you fought literally every single welter in your era, or and some of them twice, right?
Welterweight, junior middleweights. I was giving everybody a chance. I even gave Raul Marquez a chance
Yep.
because he was begging me for a chance. He's like, "Come on, man! Like Oscar won't fight me. Fight me." And I was like, "All right, man, I'll fight you." I didn't have to fight him at 54 for the title.
Mm-hmm.
He was a 154-pound champion, but I was like, you know what? I'll fight you. Winky, I had to fight Winky either.
You didn't have to.
But I didn't have to fight Winky. I really didn't even have to fight Vernon. At that time. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, you know what? My mind was like, I want to be the best, and I'm gonna give everybody opportunity because when I was coming up, I didn't get the opportunities like that at lightweight until I signed with what's his name? When I signed with now I can't think of his name,
Who? Aram? No.
from South Africa, the
Uh,
promoter.
I know you're talking about. Heavyset guy.
Yeah,
What the hell?
Kush, Cedric,
Cedric Bush.
Kushner,
Yeah.
Cedric Kushner.
Yeah.
Cedric Kushner,
I
man.
don't know why I couldn't remember that for the life of me, but I signed with Cedric, and Cedric told me the only way you're gonna fight for this lightweight title is if you sign with me, because I'm not gonna let you fight my champion, which was Philip Holiday.
Who?
So I was like,
That's who you beat for.
Philip Holiday. yeah, I was like, well, that's what I'm gonna do. Let's go. Where's the paper at? Let's sign, because the whole thing, my whole life is like, I want to be world champion.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense.
So if I got to fight Philip, and Philip to me didn't really, he didn't have that much power, but he threw a lot of punches. But the good thing for me, the reason why Philip was easier for me than probably anybody else, was because I was sparring every single day with a guy exactly like him, better than him, Zach Padilla. He threw so many punches, he broke records throwing punches. And we sparred in a small ring, like maybe a 16 by 16 or something. It couldn't even be smaller than that. So our ring in Azusa, it was so small, and he threw so many punches until what Philip Holiday had to offer to me was nothing.
Right.
It was like a cakewalk.
Wow. So what would you say was your fight that basically showed you to the world?
The fight that showed me to the world obviously was Oscar, the first one, 2000, at the Staples Center. And that's when you had all the celebrities there. Everybody was there. I walked into the ring and jumped in. I seen Will, Jada, I seen everybody. Everybody was there. Everybody.
Wow.
Everybody. Any celebrity you could think of. Jack Nicholson definitely was there. I seen who else? It was our governor at the time. What's his name? Arnold Schwarzenegger. You had
Oh wow.
Stallone there. I seen him rooting me on, like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like everybody.
Okay.
Did,
So it was a great night, and it was like the fight for LA or whatever. It was a fight for the world, but actually a fight for LA too. Like, who's the baddest in LA?
So let me ask you a question.
And go ahead.
Kind of off topic for a second, but do you think Errol Spence versus Crawford will be on that same level as you and Oscar? Because I think you and Oscar was a little bit a higher level.
I think it's a way higher level.
Yeah, it's a higher level,
Yeah.
only because they took so long to fight, and people were kind of like. But it was just the magnitude of that fight was so. So many people, was there. It was
Right.
it was it was a great night afterwards. We had a great after party. Everybody showed up to the after party. We shut down Sunset. Sunset was shut down from a certain point because of the after party. So it was like it was great.
Wow. Wow. So okay. So you go at one point. I think you're undefeated 9 straight years, right? 38-0. Is that correct?
30 0, 35 knockouts. Yeah,
Right. Which is
35
fucking.
and all, but pretty much. Yeah.
What were you about to say?
No, I was just like, yeah, because in the beginning of my professional career, I was like, you know what? We got 12 rounds, and we're not going the distance. I'm going to fight you. I fought him hard from the first round all the way on, and that's the way I trained, is because I knew that my speed, power, I had a great chin, and it was going to be hard for anybody to beat me. And I kind of took that from Zach Padilla, because that's what he did. He didn't punch as hard as me, or probably wasn't as fast as me, but he threw so many punches until he was stopping guys like in the fifth or sixth round, seventh round. I'm like, wow.
I mean,
Like, how is he doing that? And I know I'm in the ring with him every day.
So along with your father, who helped you train? I know your father trained you your whole life. Was it just him the whole way, or did you have some other people put in some opinions of what they thought you should do or how you should fight?
The good thing about my father was it was allowed to have other people say different things to me, because he was confident that I was going to stick with him. But yeah, so many other trainers would say different things, but not just trainers, fighters, professional world champion fighters I was in the ring with. They would give me little points and tips and stuff like that. And I was just the kind of kid that want to learn every aspect of the game. I could I tried to fight different ways, or change up different things in the ring, like the champions I grew up with: Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran, Chavez. Just the list goes on and on and on. I've been sparred with Chavez, and like Zuma Nelson.
oh
So when I was 15 years old, I was sparring with him.
wow.
Yeah, like so many champions I was in the ring with. When I was 106, when I was sparring with Jeremy, I sparred a couple rounds with Gonzalez. You remember the gold medalist
Yeah,
in the Olympics in
yeah,
1984.
'84.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah, no, '84. I mean, Paul Gonzalez was the man at the time. We were just kids, man. I remember that for sure.
Exactly. The man. So I think like in LA we had opportunities, me, Jeremy, and all the Oscar, everybody, we had opportunities to spar with a lot of the great champions because they were all in LA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they will get in the ring with us and we'll spar. Like a lot of guys that are probably, in the South or even in the East Coast, I think we had better sparring or better opportunity to spar with champions because there were more in California than actually like in any part of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it was a great thing for us to be able to get in the ring and spar, and we didn't mind. It wasn't like, we had to spar and be like, oh man, I don't want to get beat up or anything. It's kind of like, I spar with Jeremy, I spar with everybody.
Right. Right.
Again,
It didn't matter.
So, so, so you went 38-0, and then I guess your first setback was against Vernon Forrest. Um,
Right.
how did that affect you mentally? Were you able to just learn from it, or did it, you know?
Mentally, I learned from. I mean, I lost to Vernon in the amateurs, but I believe even when I watched the fight again, because I watch it over and I see that even though I got knocked down and everything, I was still doing pretty good. I mean, I was proud of myself. Like guys like Vernon that hit you like that, you're not gonna go 12 rounds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then and be in the fight, like almost like doing stuff and making him like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not doing that.
Right.
So that was an accomplishment, I think, for me to so people can see that yeah, not only can I dish it out, but I can take it too, and I'm gonna fight you still the whole 12 rounds.
no,
Yeah.
no. I mean, but imagine Vernon was an anomaly. How you say it? Anomaly?
Yeah.
Like tall,
Anomaly, yeah.
good fight, was very balanced, very technique. I mean, and Shane was very fast, very technique, very skilled. You know what I mean? So it was a great fight. Like, and I'm sure these guys were mentally drained as far as physically drained as well at the end of that fight, because you know,
Yeah, no, no, no. It was definitely a great fight. I mean, Vernon fought a hell of a fight, and watching the fight, and it was just that thing. I got a headbutt, and then right after the headbutt, he caught me with a spectacular right uppercut. No, a straight right hand first that wobbled me, and then he was on the come, and then he got me with the uppercut because I was looking for the right hand again. He caught me with the right uppercut, and yeah, he got me with that. I was like, oh man, he got me. And so after he knocked me down the second time, I was like, you know what? I need to just run around the ring for the third round, make sure they don't try to stop the fight, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna get them. That was my mentality. So I mean, after the fight, everybody, I remember my son crying, like, oh, he was crying, Shane Jr.
Yeah.
And as I walked down the steps, I'm like, you know what, things happen. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be all right. I'll be back. Don't worry about that. I
That's
mean,
great.
this is what fighting's about. So it's what happens.
That's a great mentality. So, what fight do you think, if you could pick one fight where you peaked, what fight would that be?
The fight that I peaked,
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure about the fight that I peaked. I think that after I beat Oscar and I was still knocking out people at 47. I don't know. I could say the fight with Oscar, but not really, because I think I showed more speed and power in the other fights too as well. Even like after, so I think 47, maybe even the fight with Oscar, but no, Oscar was a good fight though. It was a really good fight.
I mean, you look like you peaked against Mayorga too, and you that was years later.
Well, Mayorga was that 47? It was on
yeah.
54.
Title too. You took his belt.
I think that's at 54.
No, yeah, super
Yeah,
welter.
it was
Yep.
at 54.
Yep.
And I didn't peak there. That 54 wasn't my weight class at all. I just did it because I wanted to be the best, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna show at 54 Doesn't matter, 47, wherever. I fought Vargas, 54, fought Winky, fought this. I fought Raul. I mean, I fought a lot of big guys that were coming down from like 180 or even 190. You know what I'm saying? Like Vargas came down from 190, 200 to 154. So I was fighting a lot of guys that were a lot bigger than me at 54. But just, just trying to prove myself and test myself to be better.
So
What did when you trained with Joe Goose for a minute, what were you trying to learn from him?
Well, when I trained with Joe Goosen, it wasn't so much like learning. It was more like placing the shots and putting, because Joe Goosen knew me forever too.
Yeah.
And he taught me how to, place the shots really good. Make sure that, you use your knuckles when you're hitting, you don't slap or anything. And he was very, I guess, like a more of a Mexican style trainer, where he wants you to, you want you to get the job done, punch hard, and every shot had to be good, like Rafael Relis and those
Yeah.
guys.
Rafa was a gorilla, and he was this Mexican kid, man.
wow.
Yeah, he just come at you, and he's using those knuckles, and he's making sure that it's like, I know that when I hit you, you're going to sleep. That's the type of fight that Joe Goosen, which was cool with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to get you out of there.
You know,
What other trainers did you use along the line from him?
I mean, Nazim Richardson was one of my trainers when I fought Margarito. A couple of trainers. John David Jackson was also a trainer, and he was actually my sparring partner too for Oscar, the first one.
wow.
So, John David is more of a boxer, and being, slip, get out the way, more of a boxing technique. Nazim Richardson was closer to my father because he liked to, make sure you do your drills, do your punches, do your exercises, the push-ups and setups, and like he made sure that you was in condition. And my
Right.
father is the same way. Like he's making sure that you're in condition.
Um, so I'm going to ask you the classic age-old question of everybody who fought: who was the hardest puncher
Me?
besides Jeremy?
No, Jeremy wasn't Jeremy until after we sparred.
Yeah.
Tell
You know what I
nobody
mean?
that.
Like he wasn't punching and throwing like hard shots until after we sparred. If he was doing what he was doing, like later on, I probably wouldn't have sparred with him because he's too big. He was
Yep.
already too big.
Yep.
I'm like, back in the day, he wanted to be like Muhammad Ali. He thought it was Muhammad Ali. He was jumping around the ring, trying to shoot shot, and he wanted to be Muhammad Ali.
Well,
You know,
I, I met Jeremy. We were both Kevin Rooney fighters, right? We were both in Kevin Rooney's stable, and he definitely wasn't a Muhammad
Yeah.
Ali. He was just bombing people.
No, he took a whole different, like he was boxing, and then all of a sudden, not street fight, but he was like, you
Yeah.
know what, I'm gonna get mine in. And he had the
Yep.
type of mentality he's supposed to have, like the type of mentality that I had. You know what I'm saying? That we're gonna get in there and we're gonna figure this out. We ain't gonna go all these damn rounds. But in the
yeah.
beginning, Ali I mean, probably still his idol, but it was his idol. Like the whole gym was Muhammad Ali.
Um. So yeah. So who was the hardest puncher you ever actually fought?
You know what? I think it felt like me. The hardest punch that I have fought was Vernon.
Okay.
That's what I felt because of the way he threw the velocity. And he's the only one that really rocked me. Oh, the Pacquiao kind of did, but Vernon rocked me more, and Vernon had more power and more velocity or something with those shots. Maybe because he had long arms or whatever. But it was just a harder shot. I think he
Like,
hit me the hardest.
Did
But
you?
I've been hit hard by a lot of people though.
Yeah.
uh,
Did you
well,
get you and Vernon
Yeah, I've been hit
ever work in amateurs when we was on the team?
all the time.
Really?
And
I
and
don't.
the funny
Whatever reason.
the thing was, I don't like when he was getting ready for the Olympics. I was touching him up. It was no problem. When he would Like it was fun. Like Vernon didn't. It seemed like he didn't spar the same way he fought.
Oh.
He fought differently. Like he fought harder than he sparred or something.
Oh.
Or more and more speed, or maybe it's the gloves. I don't know. Because in gloves we use like 16 and 14 ounces.
Okay.
So when you fight, you use 8 ounces.
Yeah, it's way less.
So maybe that's the difference.
Um,
It's a little different, but go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was gonna say. So on the other side of that, who would you say had the fastest hands that you've ever been in front of?
Pac.
You know what? You know what the thing is? The thing people would be like, I don't know, but I think Oscar. I think Oscar was the fastest.
Really?
He wasn't the but he wasn't the most. Yeah, I don't think he was the most technical. Like, because he came out there trying to knock you out too. In the amateurs, he was really fast. I mean, being in the ring with him was like, damn, like that left hook came off fast. It came off like a jab. You had to keep that right hand by your chin because he was knocking you. He was knocking people out. He was serious.
Yeah.
Wow. I remember. Yeah.
And so, who would you say was the best fighter all around that you got in there with?
You know, it's hard to say because I was older when I fought, but I think Floyd might be the sharpest. I don't know if I couldn't even say he's the best. I think he's the sharpest. Like at that time, the jab went out really good, the right hand, and technically he was more technically sound than anybody that I fought. You know, at that up to that up to that point. But I'm not taking into consideration that maybe I was a little bit older and I was losing a step.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
So,
saying? Because I was still able to touch him, still able to do certain things, even though a lot of these fights were not 100%, and that fight wasn't 100%, but I was good enough to get in the ring with Floyd at that night.
yeah, I mean, my follow-up question, which I wondered, I was curious, what do you think happens if you guys fought 10 years earlier for you?
He would be
I
quick.
think that it could kind of be the same, but I think that my strength, my power, my speed, everything would the way I fight, and this in my it would probably give Floyd a lot of problems because I know Castile fought him the same way and gave him a lot of problems coming at him a certain way, the Mexican style, and I was more like that when I was coming up. So it could be it would have been a harder fight. You never can say who's going to win, but I think that when I caught him and I hit him and rocked him like that, I think that a younger Shane would have probably knocked him out.
So just so that our audience knows, when you say a Mexican style, you mean what?
Well, I say Mexican style, I mean really aggressive, really going for like a bobbing and weaving coming in,
Not a
and getting into throwing the body shots. You know what I'm saying? Like really mixing it up and making him have to fight. You
right.
know what I'm saying? Like
Put
I
the,
didn't have the legs to make him fight. Like and put him in uncomfortable positions that he wouldn't want to be in. I didn't have the legs or the youth or whatever for that. And I think that if I had that, things could have been differently. Nobody knows what would have happened, but I believe that that type of fight that I used to fight when I was younger and in lighter weight division, we gave him a lot of problems. It was no room for him to go anywhere.
I
right.
remember one thing that used to annoy me a little is Larry Merchant or one of the HBO guys would always say that one of your biggest weaknesses is you have too much heart sometimes, which I never agreed with. And what do you think about when people say something like that, where you had too much heart, you didn't
No,
know what?
I mean, it's not too much hard. It's just, I want to get in there and, I want to fight. I want to, we're at a fight and it's like, who's going to win? Who's going to win, me or him? Like, who's going to take that belt home? And I want to really fight for it.
Right. So at the end of the day,
You know?
what belts did you end up with?
One second. My girl's calling me. One second.
Okay. Got to make sure and get you.
Got to make sure the wife is right. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? uh, baby, Maybe I'm on the phone. I'm doing a live. I had to go where the towers were so I can get some reception because the Wi-Fi doesn't. Well, it didn't work for me, so I had to go and leave and use my phone Wi-Fi.
Tell her to join. Join.
So I'm on live right now.
Hi, Miss Mosley.
Jeremy Williams. Can you hear? Yeah, it's Jeremy Williams.
Hi, Miss Mosley.
This thing. Because I'm on my iPad. I had to go and drive with my phone so I get reception. All right. I'm literally talking to him on the camera right now, with you on the phone. All right. Bye bye. All right. Yeah, she was trying to get she could understand how I was doing live with you guys when she's talking to me on the phone.
Wait, you talking to me? I get it. Hey, what
Yeah.
So because you're up in Big Bear and I mean there's a very limited what you can do. Are you training fighters? Or are you watching? I mean, what are you doing every day? What's your Monday through Friday look like?
Well, I'm just retired, man. I'm not really doing anything. But I am in a bowling league up here in Big Bear. I watch the gym for McGee and all them, make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, and just kind of work out, go to the gym. Might lift little weights here and there, hit the bags.
Would,
Like I'm just retired.
would you ever do any of those legends fights exhibitions?
Well, I was actually thinking about it, but I'm not sure because I just popped my Achilles playing basketball. So I popped the left one playing basketball 10 years ago. Then I popped the right about 3 months ago.
Jesus. Okay.
So I kind of like got
Should
to
be playing
feel a
basketball.
little bit. I can walk around, and I'm not doing much.
So here's a question we always ask people on our show. Can you name your
Okay.
top 3 greatest fighters of all time?
It's unfair to do that. To
Okay.
name your top 3. I mean, I could name the top. I could name the top people that I like.
Okay.
Muhammad Ali, Sugar Leonard. Those type of guys. There's so many great fighters. You know what I'm saying? I think Floyd has to be up there for what the things that he's done. You know what I'm saying? So you have to put him, up in there. But there's so many great fighters that fought that fought good fighters. I mean, real good, great fighters. There's so many.
Sure.
Chavez was up there too. He had like 86-0 with something, or
89. No, yeah. So
89-0. Like if he retired, he would have been like
oof.
Chavez.
Well,
He could have retired undefeated.
is there any fighter that you kind of fashioned your style around, that you looked up to, that you took a lot of like downloaded their information, so to speak?
The fighters that I downloaded information from was like the fighters of the 70s and 80s. Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran, Lexus Aguero. I mean, Aaron Pryor. I mean, all these guys in the 80s. I think that at the beginning, I was like 8, 9 years old, so they were champions then, and I was the kid that was sitting by the ringside watching. Well, he wasn't a great, but he was a champion. Richie Sandoval, Mike Weaver, Hector Lopez. I mean, I was just sitting there watching champions spar after champion spar and learning and downloading from them. But I would watch a lot of fight films of these guys. Like I said, Sugar Ray Leonard, these guys, and those in that era to master my my technique and my awareness of these different fighters. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of tried to adapt some of their strengths. What made them a champion? Why are they champion? I want to be champion. Why are they champion? What are they doing? And it really boils down to the mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Mentality. You mean the work ethics, all that stuff. You have to do everything right. throw the punches the right way, you know, twist your hips and all that stuff, and turn them over. But it's when you look at the fighters, even today, like Canelo, the mentality of him now is different from, you know, probably when he fought Floyd. He has a different mentality.
Yeah.
So my son, and I've been telling this forever. I say, listen, it's all in your mind now. You have speed, power, great chin, and all this other. You can do this. So it took that little switch for him to transform and to be. And I want to see what happens the next fight. Next fight. I mean, I see him in the ring sparring before this fight with Badu Jack. Him and Badu Jack and Badu Jack after the end of the sparring session, like, listen, great sparring. We gotta do this again.
Mm.
Oh.
So Badu Jack said before his fight, he's like, we gotta do this. We gotta spar again. And they sparred again. You know, and it's good work.
Wow.
Junior right now.
Say again.
How old is Junior right now?
Oh, Junior's 31 years old.
God damn.
I know, time's flying, isn't it?
No, I say that. I remember the day that you got
that he
to
was
talk
born.
in camp that you was having a baby. I was right there. I think we were probably roommates at the time. And he,
oh yeah, I was like 19, 20.
yeah, you was
yeah.
baby.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, looks like the little one's coming. yeah, so time is flying. 31 years.
Yeah, time is flying. It really is, man.
And so Junior's fighting at what weight? What weight?
He fights. He's in the middle of fighting for 168 or 160. He wanted to fight at 160 because he wants one belt there, but they gave him the opportunity to fight Rosado at 68, so up to 68 to fight him. So he's still playing around. I think that he wants to go back down to 60 or go to his weight class where he fights.
Can he fight 68 effectively?
Yes, he can. He's actually more of a 68 pounder than a 60 pounder.
You know,
he's like 6'1". He's like 6'1", all muscle. You know, you've seen him. And it's hard for him to go to 160. I think. No, he said it's not that hard, but I think that 68 is a better weight. But if he wants to go 60 and he can make it with no problem, then do it.
He was also commentating, right, that night, or interviewing people.
No, he commentated Friday. Yeah. Friday.
That's great, man.
He did a good job, you know, commentating, and you know, he likes to analyze stuff and talk, and you know, he's just a great young man.
That's good.
Seems like it.
So if you could fight, if you can get one fight again, who would you fight?
Like, Jeremy, do you mean now or back in the day?
No. Now, like,
okay.
You and
Oh, now?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not thinking about fight like that.
No,
I mean,
it'll never happen.
The only get back fight I would want was with Floyd, but I'm not 100%. I'm not like that's the only get back fight I would want.
Oh, okay.
But the fight back in when I was the welterweight also, I think that, or even junior middleweight, the fight that I wanted to fight was with Trinidad.
Ooh.
But I lost to Winky. Winky fought Trinidad.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I was supposed to fight Trinidad.
I was about to ask you, is there one fight that you never got to have that you wanted, and that would be Trinidad?
That would be the fight that I think everybody would want to see. And that was the type of person I was. You know, it's kind of like, what do you guys want to see? You want to see me fight this person, that person? Like if I was Earl Spence or Crawford, one of the two, I'm making the fight happen. We got to do this. Who's the best? I don't want to be talking about, oh, well, we think he's the best, or that's no. Let's figure this out.
Yeah, I think
at that point in my career, a belt wasn't even like, a belt. I love the belts, and no problem. Won the belt championship. I won my first belt lightweight, beat Oscar. I'm like, the belt doesn't. I need to know. We need to know. The world needs to know what's going on.
Yeah, there's something right around when Floyd fought Pacquiao, when they were supposed to fight, and remember, like 5 years earlier, and it didn't come through. That's when they started throwing around all the A side, you're the B side, and like what you said, they weren't just making it happen for the sport. And that's where you would have done something. You would
No, they would. I mean, no. Let's fight. And maybe that's my fighter instinct. That's what they say. I have too much heart. With Larry Merchant saying I have too much heart because I would just go in. Oh, you want to fight? Okay, let's go. Like when I fought Vargas the first time, I stopped him because his eye got big or whatever, and he couldn't fight anymore. He said, "Oh, I was gonna beat you. I was gonna beat you." Oh yeah, you really? Let's do it again then. That's what you think? Oh fuck, we got to do this again. Come on. He's like, what? You want to do it again? He won't do it again. He won't do it again. No, yes, I will. Yes, I will.
competitive, man.
So
Competitive to the
how many
highest
belts
level.
do you own? And how many different weights?
I went through weights. I went lightweight, welterweight, jumped to welterweight, and then went to junior middleweight, and then back down to welterweight when I fought Margarito.
So you have,
Because I also welterweight.
so how was that, 3 or 4 belts?
There's a lot more than that. Like
Well,
7 or 8 because I've got 2 belts on each fight. I got 2 belts when I fought Oscar the first time, 2 belts when I fought Oscar the second time. Um, I took somebody's belt at 54, and then I had then going back down to welterweight. I had a belt, and then I took the big belt from Margarito. So I was just like I was finding belts here and there. I don't know. I think I ended up with like 7.
Wow.
dang.
Yeah.
So you were one of the greatest welterweights. So now we're looking at, as you know, one of the biggest welterweight showdowns in a while. Who do you have in that fight?
You know, I I can only go by what I've heard that Spence is kind of did some damage to Crawford before when they sparring and stuff like that. A long time when he was sparring with Floyd, and he had the accident, but it looked like he jumped back. You know, I think that it's gonna be he's too patient for he might be too patient for Crawford. Like too patient, he's too long, he's too tall. He's in the ring with big guys all the time, getting banged up and hit. Like in Houston, like Jamal Charlo, uh, Lara. I mean, he's in the ring with all kind of champions that are around his weight class. They're good, and they're bigger. So I think that he will be able to withstand a upper fight, uh, especially at 54. But 47 might be a little harder because it's a drain a little weight. But I don't know. I mean, Crawford is a great fighter, and Crawford has more of a mentality when he gets in the ring and fight, like I did.
Yeah.
Um, I just think that's going to be harder for him to fight with a guy he's been in the ring with before. They both know each other. They both know what's going on. And, I think Earl knows how to stay on that jab and just keep him at bay, keep him lunging, keep him trying to get in. It's not gonna be an inside fight. He's not gonna be a chance to get in there and throw those big shots like somebody smaller or, around his weight or that doesn't box like Earl does. Earl is like a boxer. He's a boxer puncher.
Mm.
And he's gonna be getting around a lot of that stuff, I think. But at the other side, I wouldn't be surprised if Crawford, catches him with one of them haymakers and, puts him down. But that could happen too. It's a great fight.
Very
I
much.
mean, anybody can win. It's 50-50, but I just kind of lean a little bit towards Spence because of their history and because, he doesn't have anything to like. It's not like, oh, I got to watch out for this trick shot, that trick shot, because he knows.
Mm.
So I think the boxer is going to be able to maybe outbox him and keep him at bay, and make it hard for Crawford to get in, and this is going to be. It might not even be a spectacular fight. Meaning they're gonna go back and forth. Meaning they're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna get hit. This guy's gonna get hit. That guy's gonna get hit. Go down. It might be more of a boxing match, sparring session, almost, if you will.
Most people are already branding it the next Hagler Hearns, which I don't really see.
I can't see that because Crawford doesn't fight like Hagler, where he's going to come in and press, and Earl Spence doesn't fight like Tommy Hearns either, where he's trying to, it's not going to be, it's not going to. I don't think it's going to be the same. It could be, but I don't really see their styles match up like that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So the welterweight division is packed, and the lightweight, junior lightweight, that division is packed. Who do you like of all those guys? Tank, Teofimo, Loma. Who do you think is the top guy if you can pick one?
I actually like Loma, but I think Tank is the one that is on top right now because he's the most experienced. He's been around the block. He knows how to, get the shots in. But the craftsmanship of Lomachenko is very hard. I mean, I like Ryan Garcia. I like Devin Haney. I mean, I think all of them, like I was saying back in my day, we need to figure this out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got to figure out because they saying he's the best. They saying he's the best. They saying he's. Let's get in there and do this. But I know it's money and promotion, different promoters, and all. It's a lot of stuff to go along with it. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, let's figure this out.
No, agreed. Definitely agreed. I mean, there's so many different people and organizations, and everybody wants to be the top dog, but nobody wants to fight. And then when
Nobody.
okay, well, you need to pay me more, and I need this much more, and I need that. I'm like, just fight, man. Just fight. The money's gonna come regardless.
Just the money's gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Just fight. There's what are you waiting on? Like you waiting on him to hurt himself or him to or somebody to, I don't know. Like what are you waiting on?
So,
There's no time but the present.
who do you think the top dog in all boxing right now? Canelo? Or who else?
Canelo.
Yeah.
Canelo.
Yeah.
The top dog. I mean, there's a lot of guys coming up. I like Canelo, but I also like Shakur. I think Shakur is kind of like he's kind of like a Earl Spence, but more aggressive.
Oh.
He has an Earl Spence feel, but he's more aggressive. Like he's gonna try to get you and knock you out, and that's what I love. I love the way Shakur fights. He's trying to get you, even though he's a great boxer, he can move and duck and all that stuff. He's trying to get you. He's trying to knock you out before the last bell.
What do you think of Boots Ennis? Because I think he's a monster.
Oh, Boots is great too. I mean, he's the same type of fighter, and he can really do some damage and turn a corner. But we still got to see, like him fighting top guys. I think he's gonna do all right with the top guys. Doesn't matter, I think that he's up there. He can be one of the champions anytime. Like he's a hard fight for any of them.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
A real hard fight.
Well, so you live now in Big Bear, or you have a house in the city and one in Big Bear?
No. I sold the house in the city. I'm in Big Bear. LA, in certain provinces, living in Playa del Rey and in Topanga and all that. I'm like, it can get kind of expensive out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for no reason. And that, I said Big Bear is calm and and relaxed. And, everybody knows I've been here for 20-something years, maybe almost 25. And, I'm a resident pretty much. Everybody know me here.
Wait, I didn't. You've been living in Big Bear for 25 years?
No. I've been having a house for 25 years, but I've been up here in camp, training,
Yeah, I knew the camp.
getting ready for fights. Yeah, camp's up, so I'm driving around. I've been up here for 20-something years, just in camp. For camp and come and stay. And
right.
So I'm like a resident. Like they know me here. It's like I know everybody. I can go anywhere, any shop or whatever, and it's like, I'm like a family. I'm a resident.
So your is your hometown, right? Pomona.
Pomona's hometown.
Mom and dad in Pomona.
My mother passed away maybe a couple of years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. Sorry.
But my father lives in Pomona. My sister lives in Pomona. Everybody lives in Pomona still. So I still go down there to Pomona and I'll, hang out, whatever. But, if I'm ready to get away from the madness or anything going on, I just shoot, right back to Big Bear and be chilling.
So I'm from New York. So Pomona is what? That's
Pomona's 40 minutes outside of LA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a suburb of LA. It's
Okay.
LA County, but it's the last
It's the
city
last city
in
in
LA County.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
it's that way.
Whatever that
East.
means.
That's east.
Yeah, east.
It's east. Anyway, hey,
Yeah.
look, man, thank you so much. I know it's getting dark up in the mountain, so it's kind of hard to see, but thank you so much, sir, for having this conversation with us. We appreciate
No problem.
it. We'll call you again soon after the next fight so that we can get your opinion of it.
Okay,
Thanks.
definitely.
Thanks for
Let's
talking,
do it.
Shane, man. Good talking to you.
My brother, man.
And no problem. Good talking to you too. And peace out.
Okay.
All right. All right. Bye bye.